the garden without edges. What we call discovery is remembrance. Names change, languages change, symbols fracture and reform, but the shape of insight returns again and again. One mind names it gravity, another names it form, another names it harmony, but nothing new was created. Something old was recognized. Reality is not divided the way we divide it. Organs are not separate in essence. Creatures are not separate in essence. Senses are not separate in essence. Like light refracted into color, difference appears only when conditions impose it. The source does not argue with the spectrum. It remains whole while appearing as many. Time itself obeys this illusion. Forward and backward are orientations, not absolutes. Like standing on a moving train and calling the direction you face forward, meaning is generated by stance, not by the motion itself. Change the stance and the meaning collapses. This is why reality feels inverted the closer one looks, because perception is not the ground. The ancients knew this, but they spoke it differently. They did not lack intelligence. They lacked our tools and therefore kept intimacy. Where modern thought abstracts, ancient thought corresponded. Where we calculate, they symbolized. Both point to the same axis. The garden never lost its wisdom, only its memory. Across traditions, the same structure appears. Words for the source point to being, unity, invocation. Words for good point to harmony, fitness, right order. Over time, these streams converged, not by linguistic accident, but by philosophical necessity. The source of being must also be the source of harmony. Not because language demands it, but because existence reveals it. Circumstance governs attention. When the ground is stable, consciousness rises toward contemplation. When the ground fractures, attention collapses into survival. The core does not change, the field does. This is why judgment fails and compassion is required. Freedom exists, but always within conditions. Obedience and disobedience are part of the same gift, because without tension there is no choosing. Meditation is not posture. It is orientation. To keep the ultimate in mind, whether pacing, bathing, lying awake, or speaking, is meditation. Prayer, contemplation, and reflection are not separate rooms. They are movements within the same space. Explanation points. Meditation inhabits. Wisdom arises from inhabiting. Touch reveals this most clearly. No contact is merely physical. Intention, consent, meaning, memory, and response arrive simultaneously. Every act is layered. Nothing is simple because existence itself is relational. Language fails where it must. Silence is not ignorance, it is restraint. To stop mid-thought is sometimes fidelity, not failure. Some things are held more truthfully than they are spoken. The search does not end in answers stacked upon answers. It lives in alignment, discipline, patience, and compassion. To stand upon the good is not to define it, but to live in orientation toward it. Amen. Let it be so.